Alright guys, I am back and I got the rig up and running. It is mining and we have the 2400 watt power supply down there. You can see the 2070 Super and the two 2080s inside. You can see it's not registering them for some reason. TU104A is showing for my 2070 Super, but it does recognize it inside of it. My one is also running a little hot, as you can see, 57C, and that is this one here. It's running a 57C. I did turn down the power limit some, so it is still running pretty good. I'm not crazy happy about it, but I will leave it. I think it's this one over here. I'm not sure though. But I do have another surprise for you guys. After I got this up and running at a hockey game, I got another package delivered to me and another 2070 Super for the Win Edition. This will be getting put up onto this. I'll probably hang it over here. I'll get to that later on, hopefully today. Maybe I do have work today, so maybe after work. But so far as rig has been running pretty solid. It's been running for about 14 hours now. I'll do a little bit of profitability on it in a little bit. But this, I did have to do a dual power supply. You can see the adapter kind of hanging here. I didn't have Molex to run to these two to run multiple GPUs off the breakout board. I will have to order some, so I do have my, it's just a 650 watt. It's only powering the Molex on the motherboard and connected also to this adapter so it gets a signal. But all the cards are ran from the server power supply. As you can see, I'm pretty much getting at my max here on the one bank on my PDU, so I will have to change some around. I'll probably put my, down in the bottom here, there's my P104 rig. I'll probably put that on the other side of the bank, and then I'll probably put this one up to about 11, but it'll free up some space on this side for when I add more GPUs to this rig, because one, I have my GPU over here that's going to get added, so that's going to be another 100 watts, so about another half an amp on the 240 volt. So it'll probably put this side on 12 amps, which is the highest I want to run as far as running on this PDU. I want to stick to the 80% rule, so I don't want to go over 13 amps. I want to stay around 12 on each side of the bank. So I will be looking for another AAA PDU here in the near future. If I do want to expand, which I do have some more rigs on the way, but it is up and running. So now we can go in, and what I will do is I will remote into this from my office PC and we can check it out. We can look at the overclocks more. One odd thing I did notice about this rig is if you look at these core clocks, this one's at negative 502 on this 2080 and this one's at negative 200, and I had to do that just to yield the same mega hash a second, and it's running the GPU at the same megahertz. So a little odd, a little strange, first time that's happened to me, but nonetheless, let's go ahead, remote into this. Hopefully later on today I can get this up and running. This thing is a beauty, but it is nice and thick too. Look at the size of that thing. It's going to be hanging there, and I plan on ordering from Chump Change the mounts to put these in. I will have to raise this rack up. I'm probably going to put it up maybe here and have them hanging, but they will hang slightly a little bit higher. I'm just worried about over here where these connectors are, because they're up top, so I will just raise this up some, even if it's raised up pretty much where this one is. As long as I can get the cables down to the power supply, I'll be fine. But I only have, I'm down to my last riser here, so I'll be using that on this one. So I'm gonna have to order more of these also for when I get more GPUs, which I do have some on the way. But let's go ahead, I'll get on my PC in my office, remote into this, and we'll look at some profitability as far as what these 2080s are doing based on the wattage that is being reported in the miner. Alright, here I am remoted in. You know, you guys saw this earlier in the video, so I'm not going to go too crazy into it, but I'm really just going to focus on one single 2080 as far as the profitability. I'm not going to do the whole rig because I did do the 2070 Super in another video, and pretty much both my 2080s are right on par with each other. The only difference is the overclocks and temps, but they're both pulling about very similar, if not the same mega hash a second, and they're both within 1 watt of each other. So we won't go, I'm not going to go crazy adding it up. It's pretty much going to be a very similar in the end for both of them. But if we do look at the current pricing of crypto right now, it has gone down slightly since my last profitability video. I think when I did my 2070 Super, this was pretty much a lot higher. It was right before it just dipped down. Right now it's been creeping back up. It was down around 2,000 probably last week, end of last week, and over the weekend it came up a little bit. Same with Bitcoin. You know, ADA and XRP are still hanging in there. I do have XRP, so I do want that to go back up. But other than that, is Bitcoin, ETH, and Ethereum Classic is what I own as far as coins. Not much Ethereum Classic. I'm still mining it on my one rig, and I can do an update video on that if people would like. But we'll go over to what to mine, and we were getting roughly 43 mega hash a second at 124 watts. Now my electric here is at 13 cents per kilowatt hour, a little bit higher than what I'm actually paying. The last time I calculated it, it was slightly lower than that, but not too much. So we'll put this into Ethereum Classic also, which with everything coming up may be a good option to start mining. We'll see. So if we look at them, they're actually not too far apart, but Ethereum is still your more profitable coin, but I'll still be making a little over $3 a day with Ethereum. So if I get my calculator out, I did pay $800 for this graphics card, and we're doing $3.06 a day. So I'm looking at pretty much almost an 8.5 month ROI on this card. I plan on keeping it a lot longer than that. Actually, my 2080s I don't plan on keeping all that long, I don't think. I'll probably resell them. So after I mine with them for a little bit while, I'll probably try and trade them for something, like a trade plus cash to get a better GPU. That's really the only reason I bought them, because they have good value right now. I think $800 was overpaying for it, but that's just my personal opinion. You guys may vary. I mean, a 2080 is a great gaming card. $800 right now in this market for a really good gaming card isn't terrible. But realistically, I would have much rather had a 3060 Ti for that price. But that's something I can talk about in a different video. So I'm looking at 8.5. I mean, profitability is not great on it. But I mean, 43 mega hash a second at 123 watts isn't too bad as far as efficiency. Obviously, it's still turning a profit. So I'm going to leave my overclocks where they are, and you can see them here. It's plus 1,000 on the memory. Now my core was a little bit different on both of them. The other one I was able to do negative 502, and this one was negative 200. If I do drop this more, my megahertz will go down on my GPU, and I will lose hash rate almost into the high 30s. So I'm going to leave it right where it is. My power limit is at 55%. I may be able to go a little lower on that, but I'm just going to leave it where it's at. I'm pretty happy with the 123 watts. So, you know, I'm just going to hold there and pretty much just let this go and keep checking on it. Make sure it stays stable. Right now, I have 0 rejected shares. So it seems pretty stable for the meantime. So I'm just going to leave it where it's at for a few days and maybe tweak it a little bit more later on down the road. But, you know, thanks for checking this video out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know, if you have 2080s that you're using and want to share some overclocks for me to try, I'll be more than happy to try them out and see if they improve my cards. But it looks like the one I didn't get a good bin chip as far as Silicon Lottery goes. So I don't think that one's going to get too much better. But the other one I may be able to push to 44 mega hash a second, but we'll see how that goes later on after I check stability for a while. But, thanks for checking this video out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more.